Fueled by Deathcast.
Mel Blanc passed away in '89. And my first Looney Tunes job, I'd been working in other things, but my first Looney Tunes job was Tiny Toons in 1990.
And I know that you draw a lot when you do Porky. You draw a lot from the different eras of Porky. Do you kind of do that in the moment, like with each script, or is it more of like you have more of a thought process before you even hit the booth?
It's certainly collaborative.
Yeah.
You know, they'll send us the script before the session. We're doing a series of shorts right now called Looney Tunes Cartoons.
Yeah.
And Pete Braungart is our showrunner. It's storyboard driven. It's gag driven. It's music driven, which means it doesn't necessarily look like a Saturday morning script or an animated feature script. The original Looney Tunes were all storyboard driven. Mm-hmm. And they're going back to the way they used to be done. We do have a script to read, but we're also looking at the storyboard as we perform. And each short has its own personality, as if, well, this one was done by Bob Clampett, this one was done by Chuck Jones, etc. So it's collaborative. I feed off of the producers and the writers. An actor is nowhere without the writing. We do our best if it's bad writing to make it good, but great writing acts itself. These are the truest Looney Tunes I've ever done, and close to, I'm almost 30 years playing this character. It's like I pinch myself getting to work on these, and I've only seen a handful of them. I think only about 10 or 15 are done, and they screened a bunch for us a few weeks ago. And I was like in the theater going, oh, wow. They did it. And the music sounds like Carl Stalling. And the timing is great. I know. It is like, this is the coolest thing. So I don't know if it's a long-winded answer to your question, but listen, I will go in. If I see a line and I think to myself, that's not very Porky-esque, I will always do what the director asks of me. And then I might say, can I try one for me? And I am not privy to, nor is it my place to say, I want you to print that take. And, you know, it's about a year from recording session to on the air if it's a series, and it's about 2 to 5 years if it's a feature. I will have no idea which take they used, how it's edited until I see it. But I don't see a lot of my work. I'm not a fan of watching my work. So I may not even know what they chose. But I've never had a director say, no, we can't try it your way. Awesome. They always let me. And then after the fact, I go my separate way, and they do whatever they want to do in post, which they think fits best for the project that we're working on.
Like you had mentioned earlier, you know, Tiny Toons is when you first got the opportunity to portray that role, which you had been gunning for. You've been focused on. You wanted this role. You wanted to be Porky Pig. And Porky Pig, like I had said before, is one of my favorite comedic actors in Looney Tunes because he always gets that fun joke at the end. He gets the big laugh. He has, in my mind, the second or first most iconic line in all of Looney Tunes outside of "What's up, Doc?" is "That's all, folks," 100%.
Which is also the hardest thing for me to say.
Really?
Go home, folks.
Yeah, because Mel Blanc said it once, and that was in the 30s, and that was for Porky's Duck Hunt. Which actually he didn't even use it in Porky's Duck Hunt. It was used in the next film where he came out of the drum and said, "That's all, folks." For Porky's Duck Hunt, you saw Daffy Duck dancing around what was spelled out as "That's all, folks." Mel said it once early on before he perfected the character, and they stopped having him come out of the drum to say it in the 40s. Mel didn't say it again until the 70s and 80s when he would do TV talk shows. So, and I'm always asked to do it for a Warner Brothers project because that's his trademark. When I do it, I'll say to them, do you want me to attempt to do what Mel Blanc did in the 30s or the way Mel Blanc would have done it in the 50s? And they always look at me like, what are you talking about? We just want Porky to say, "That's all, folks." And I would have them pull it up on YouTube where Mel's "That's all, folks" originally is not the Porky character that we know of today.
Right.
I can't do it, actually. I can't do that Porky very well. If you look at some old interviews from the 70s and 80s, Mel's like, "That's all, folks." And the older one was, "That's all, folks." And I try to find a happy medium to please people because they always go, "It's not quite right." I'm like, I know. That is the most challenging thing I have to do for that character.
Wow, that's incredible.